What are you going to do, bleed on me? I'm invincible! You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs!
Welcome one, welcome all, and it is that time for Roundtable Live here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. Be rolling on till 4 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time. New ideas, different hosts every night, different subjects every night. You never know what's going to happen right here at the Roundtable Live. King Arthur has nothing on us. We're going round and round.
West Coast of Orange County, California. From the Pacific perspective to the Atlantic perspective. From liberal craziness to conservative idealism. From Christianity to atheism belief systems. Welcome to the Gray Zone Roundtable with Rectify and Wingman at Revolution Radio. freedomslips.com.
Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable. This is Rectify. Today, on this wonderful September 9th, 2014, I am joined by Miss Angela Black and Audio Murphy right off the bat from the chat room.
Hello, hello.
Good evening, y'all. Good evening.
Mic check, mic check.
Test, 1, 2, 1, 2.
NSA.
5 by
Echelon.
Yeah, Noreen, she had a nice little show there. She got the attention of the bad guys, so.
Oh, she did?
I want to try the same thing. IED, Bush, Clinton, cocaine. Nah, it's not working. We're still in the air. Anyways, what are you doing? Hope you had a good week.
I did. Last week was a really lazy week for me, and I feel really bad saying that, but it's true. But I just did some of the new, I just got some super powder, you know, that green, like, you know, full of everything, and it's all broke down into a powder or whatever. I did like a little scoop of that and some diatomaceous earth, which I just got today, and all of a sudden I'm like super zingy. So I'm like, wow, that's what I needed was super powder. And no, not that kind.
Spinach. It's spinach. It's Popeye
it is
powder.
Yeah, it is Popeye powder. Correctamundo, and many other things included, but that's if we're really bored, I'll read all the ingredients.
Well, I want to give out the number. We're going to have a real roundtable tonight, not saying that the last one wasn't real, but we didn't have phones forwarding to us, so, you know, it makes it kind of difficult. But I think the phones situation is sorted out. Thank you, Nighthawk. Let me give out that number here at freedomslips.com, where you'll find our awesome chat room also. But, yeah, our phone number 347-688-2902. 347-688-2902. Or you can Skype us on Freedom Screen, one word.
Yeah, Freedom Screen.
Not scream like, but screen like the screen door to your slider, you know, sliding glass door. That type of screen. The screen that we are not here at Revolution Radio. We do not get screened.
That's correct.
As you can tell.
Freedom of speech here.
My urine test hasn't come back yet, but yeah, the other kind.
Okay, and so we are joined by Audio Murphy as well, and, well, wait, we gotta do business real quick. You're listening to The Gray Zone, Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, also revolution-radio.com, and some other ones as well. We are the number one 100% listener-supported radio station on the internet, and we're awesome like that. We are, like I said, listener-supported, so if you can find yourself with a few pennies, dollars, or hundreds that you want to throw toward the station, that keeps us free speech in it at you, and that was some great grammar there, Ange. Free speech in it at you. So anyway,
we could probably come up with an acronym for it.
Yeah,
make it text friendly.
Yeah, there you go. Free speech in. Anyway, So I think that's most of it. This is the Gray Zone. It's a roundtable. You can call in. Rectify just gave you the number. We are joined by Audio Murphy. What's up in Canada?
Oh, it's another beautiful end of summer evening here.
Mm-hmm.
Rain, getting cool.
It's raining?
A little bit of everything at this time of year.
Let me see.
I wish I was
some
going to be.
Go ahead.
But yeah, the brewskis are frosty. If that gives you an idea.
Speaking of, I haven't had any of those in 20. Today will be my 23rd day.
Yay.
So, congratulations to myself.
Congratulations, darling. That's awesome.
Hey, after 20
I'm
years.
ready to commit.
Yeah.
So,
it took 20 years for me to commit. So, and 3 doctors saying, if you don't quit, you're going to die.
Yeah.
That's incentive.
Right?
Yeah.
It worked for me. And I am a client.
Not only are you the president, you're a client?
I am also a client.
I see. That's very nice.
I wonder if it's against the rules, quote unquote, say the covenant of the AA group to drink like an O'Doul's or a near beer, like an NA beer, non-alcoholic.
I don't know. I don't really let people boss me around anyway, so I don't know.
What would the white coats say? If you're out there, give us a call, 347-688-2902.
Yeah, friends of Bill, give us a call.
Not to get morbid, but since you touched on the subject of death, let's just talk about, like, were you a fan of Joan Rivers or Robin Williams, who's just recently passed?
I heard they
yeah.
were friends. That's kind of eerie.
A lot of eerie things, a lot of murder conspiracy things going on, theories, etc. The Illuminati, all kinds of stuff. I was up late last night, and all of a sudden the next thing you know is I'm reading about, how the Illuminati murdered Robin Williams and somebody, murdered Joan Rivers. I'm not sure who yet. And blah, blah. And then, of course, on the journey from that, I did also read that, I'll get into it later. I was going to talk about Beyonce, but you brought up Joan Rivers and Robin Williams, and I don't know, I know that they were incredibly iconic and influenced, I think, all of our lives in some way or another. Do you not agree?
I agree. They were a huge part of my growing up. I guess as cultural icons, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And everyone pretty much knows who they are, I guess. Although Joan Rivers is a little bit from back in the day than Robin was.
Yeah, but she was still very present right up until the end, and even more so in the last few weeks.
And she was very funny. That's one woman that always seemed to make me laugh. No matter what, it just didn't seem to. There was no subject that she couldn't broach without any sort of no holds barred.
She was a drinking man's type of lady, definitely. You'd always catch her behind like someone comedian or somewhat. Behind his back, with the audience watching, her sitting there mocking, drinking a cocktail and smoking a cigar to make fun of the one talking. She was always funny. But yeah, she said those things about Commander-in-Chief and his lovely lady. So a lot of people correlate what he said to her quote-unquote quieting, her normal throat surgery going awry.
Yeah, it is a little odd.
Yeah, I got to go in for throat surgery tomorrow anyways. It's a routine checkup, They go in and shave the hairs off.
You are?
No, I'm wondering what a routine throat surgery is.
Yeah, true. Well, I think it was some type of endoscopy. Isn't that what it's called? Endoscopy?
And take
I don't know,
pictures of it.
Cleaning it up a little, because,
Scraping the resin.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the medication, the sedative or anesthesia that actually somehow they miscalculated or something, which caused her to stop breathing.
Oh, so she's underground. They did the Michael Jackson thing. I gotcha.
What do you mean?
Fake their own death, man. They're still alive, kicking it with Elvis and Kennedy.
I was listening to Sean today, Sean David Morton, and he was talking about how there's theories out there that she's in witness protection and that she faked her own death, et cetera. But there's always going to be these theories everywhere. I don't know. I think if she died, let the woman rest in peace. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I'd love to get in witness protection.
Would you? You'd be perfect for that. Aren't you already in witness protection?
No, I'm not. I can think of many places I'd like to go live. Just pick any place, It's like
probably send you to Gitmo these days.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's it.
No, we don't say the S word here. We try not to.
But no, yeah, Gitmo. I mean, that's the new 5-star witness protection program.
Oh, really?
5-star hotel.
Lillehammer is a show on Netflix. It's an original Netflix show with Steven Van Zandt, I think, from not only The Sopranos, but literally from the E Street Band, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. And he was a gangster, obviously. That's, kind of his persona on air. I mean, on the TV and the shows or whatever. And he went into witness protection, and he wanted to go to Lillehammer. So it's a whole story about like this gangster in Norway. It's pretty funny, but I think it only lasted 2 seasons. So yeah, I don't know. Witness protection. Audio Murphy. News at 11. I don't know, man.
What would be the pluses of witness protection? I mean, do you get like your dry cleaning done? You don't have to leave the house. You get like KFC delivered to your door. I mean,
mani-pedi. I need a mani-pedi.
You get
24-hour security.
You get like a black label credit card. Basically no limit.
Nice.
That'd be great.
If any supposed security compromisation, you get moved to another location. It's like free travel. On the government's fund.
And you don't have to talk to anybody that you didn't like. Just wipe the slate clean.
So yeah.
This is riveting.
Speaking of Joan Rivers and Robin Williams,
it was the Illuminati, man.
I want to talk about. You had a great idea earlier, Angela, and I want to bring it up to the forum here.
Okay.
First world problems.
Yeah, first world problems.
When you ask
my Botox.
Yeah, a first world problem. What is a first world problem?
A first world problem is when your washing machine breaks, okay, and you have to call the plumber. Okay, a first world problem is when your drain is clogged, and a first world problem would be something along the lines of that your Botox appointment got canceled today. That's first world, baby. Oh my God, my book didn't get published and Amazon is putting me back 3 days. Oh my God, that's my first world problem. You know what I mean? These types of things.
My first world problem is running out of toilet paper. Like, seriously.
Do that, Although I try to keep it, I try to keep us above the waist on this show, but it never seems to work.
Well, I'm very humble. But I still consider myself first world, so.
Yeah. I like that one. I think running out of toilet paper would be considered a first world problem. Absolutely. Or if my headphones break, or Skype makes my Skype update made my computer break.
Fun fact of the day: much of the Middle East shake hands when greeting with their left hand because the right is used for wiping. Or I have the opposite.
Yeah, that's opposite.
Okay. Well, I don't think so, because otherwise it wouldn't be like such a big deal as a saying, because the right hand is the proper way everywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I know that a lot of people in other countries don't like food served to them with the left hand. When I was a food server, I remember coming across that a few times where they didn't want to be served with the left hand.
It is a religious stigma, though, somewhere out there in the world, that the right hand is for one end and the right hand is for the other, and it does not even have to be literal, and they'll get really butthurt. No pun intended.
God, I'm surprised that they were even not outraged that they were being served by a woman.
Well, I mean,
that's a good point. I never thought about that.
What else are we good for?
Well,
I'm just kidding. I was my husband's waitress when we met. So he had this. It's funny. You've got a guy who's sitting at a table, and so, his eye level is, and I'm standing, so his eye level is actually, of course, near the near the chest area, or the female endowed area. And then I'm always smiling, and I'm always serving food and bringing drinks and things like that. It's a common misconception that we're going to stay like that after the marriage. After the ring went on the finger, are we still going to swerve you like we did before? And the answer is probably no. Okay, I'm laughing at my own jokes. I'm liking it.
How long does it last? How long did it last for you before you just like, no more makeup, stay in sweats, not even worth it?
Well, I actually am not all the way there now, but there are times, there are definite, there are weeks where I don't feel like doing much. But in general, I have to say that, the fire's still burning. We're still good. You don't give up,
I stopped sucking the
I just give him a lot of crap. If I bring him food, I'm like, and who was your waitress this time last year? So it always comes with a little extra edge,
I mean, you sound something like Joan Rivers, a comedy,
Yeah, that's what they say.
She always made fun of her husband Edgar, right? All the time.
Right. And that's true to form from her predecessor, which would have been Phyllis Diller. And Phyllis was always making fun of her husband, Fang.
Lucille Ball was also a funny one.
Actually, I think they were kind of contemporaries, but I guess they sort of had their influence from Mae West, actually, maybe, perhaps.
Right, there you go. I love Mae West. People compare me to her all the time. But then, yeah, well, no, it's funny. Did you know that Mae West very rarely ever showed her legs? Like, I think just once or twice, like in a production, a movie production, that type of thing. I think I only saw them once, but it was a big deal. She had them insured, if I'm not mistaken, and they were often covered, if not always. So.
Did she have bow legs or knee knockers?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. Why did Mae West cover her legs?
They were often covered with like a man's hands or something.
DuPont is actually the developer of pantyhose, and they sent their scientists home with pantyhose. This is totally off subject other than legs, of course, but they sent their scientists home with pairs of pantyhose for their wives to try out, and they were so successful that they didn't tear, they didn't rip, they didn't shred. They were everlasting pantyhose. So they had to reformulate that to put in planned obsolescence, to where you're forcing your customer to come back and rebuy your product or service.
Yeah, like the cancer industry.
Yeah, it's wonderful, isn't it?
That is correctamundo.
It's the capitalist system. This is the way it works.
So what deserves more attention? Killing babies before they're born or while they're alive and adults in foreign lands? I want to be proper these days, politically correct.
And is that a first world problem we're talking about? That's pretty heavy. I mean, how do we get to that?
We
went from pantyhose to the death of adults and abortions. Wow.
Well, there's a lot of hypocrisy in there.
Leap.
There's the two sides, quote unquote, will spout both sides. It's like, which side of death do you choose?
Perhaps Noam Chomsky can, differentiate between third world and first world, but I come from one planet and I am of this world, and it's all of my problem.
It's all your problem?
Yeah.
And
yours too.
Found you. Fix it.
Wow.
And I'm not a fan of Noam Chomsky either.
Okay. Noam Chomsky.
So if a person dies of some sort of indiscretion or, discrimination halfway around the world, it's my problem. I'm not after some sort of recognition, but I just believe in that we all are one on this planet. This is the only planet we live on.
At this current time that we know of, yes. We might exist in
unless you live in the past or the future or do you own a time machine perhaps, maybe? I don't know. But,
I wish. Yeah, it's called a facelift. No.
Is it like Calgonite, Take Me Away or something.
Calgon, take me away. I remember that. The dog's barking. The phone's ringing. The doorbell's ringing. Calgon, take me away. I remember that. We're dating ourselves now.
Just watch TV and everything goes away, right?
Yeah. Fun. Okay, let's see. Well, and then again, this is a roundtable, everyone. So if you want to call in to Skype, we are Freedom Screen, or you can use the number 347-688-2902. And this is the Gray Zone here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So we're happy to have you listening, and we would love it if you wanted to join. We're trying to, create some type of semblance in here and come up with a show for you. But it's a roundtable. You guys are supposed to call in, so freaking do it.
Yeah, there's no production in roundtables, so you can't blame us.
And there's no crying in baseball.
Right. And there's only almost in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah. And
we don't worry about what you called your baloney. It's baloney.
Which is basically a bunch of meat parts into a paste that is.
Well, we can discuss what exactly bologna is made out of. But
my mom used to work at Oscar Mayer for 30 years. She worked there, so I happen to know bologna.
Oh my gosh.
Although I have to tell you, had I worked at a meat plant, I bow down to her. I can't even imagine that. I would have blown the place up. I'm certain of it. I would have been
just like a peeled hot dog?
Pretty much, yeah. I would go with yes, And then, okay, if we are talking, meats with lots of parts in it, then there's the infamous head cheese. Ew! What's going on with that? I don't even know. But anyway, I don't know how she did it, but she was basically she stood in a long parka and it was on a conveyor belt for 30 years. This woman, did this, she got pregnant with me very early in her adult life, and her dreams of being a dancer and a teacher of dance were shattered, and she ended up going to work, where her father worked, which was, Oscar Mayer. And, 30 years later, she's doing fine now because she got to retire in her 50s and that type of thing. So she's actually having a good second half of her life, but man, I would have blown that place up. I'd have been like, too much cholesterol, and I would have shot everybody. I really would have. I would not have left.
By the way, Angela, where was this Oscar Mayer plant?
Madison, Wisconsin. Yes, and I actually met the grandson of Oscar Mayer, and he was a partier, and he used to come into this bar I worked at in Palm Springs, and I think General Foods or somebody bought General Mills. Somebody bought Oscar Mayer. They bought it from the Myers, and so. Anyway, I always told my mom if I ever met the guy that I would tell him that she needed a raise.
My mother worked with your father's weenies.
Was Oscar Mayer a Mason?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Was Oscar Mayer a real person?
Yes, he was. He was a real person, and he had a grandson that I met, Bobby Mayer, and he was a partier. And I told him that my mother needed a raise, but he's like, "Oh, that's so cool, but yeah, no, we sold that. We sold the plant, blah blah blah." But anyway, it was pretty cool. He was, allegedly, he might have been on a few substances, allegedly. So.
And the air is always good in LA. Breathe deep.
That was Palm Springs, but yeah.
Well, you get all the leftovers.
Oh yeah, that's it. The leftovers.
The Inland Empire,
We get the bologna of LA.
That's right.
What a thing.
Cold cuts.
The Italians make the best sausages and bolognas and all that. I like to think they put quality ingredients still in Italian. You go to a deli, you get some of that good stuff there.
Yeah.
That's nothing like American bologna. Sorry, Oscar.
Is that Italian Americans or African Italians?
We'll just call them all Egyptians and settle it there.
Bologna.
That's the theme of tonight, everyone. It's bologna.
First world bologna.
Bologna. Yeah, first world bologna. Bologna. I
wonder why they throw the
above
G
ya.
in there.
Above ya and bologna.
They got to throw that G in there with the hook.
Yeah, well, actually, that would be Italian. The GN, or NG, yeah, GN is nya.
Nyom.
Yeah.
Under the bridge.
Yeah.
Speaking
Bologna.
of pronunciation, I've got like this thing itching. It's not on my skin. It's like Australians and Brits and some even East Coasters here in the States. I've noticed this. I scientifically figured it out. If a word ends with an A, they'll add an R to it. And if a word ends with an R, they'll take the R away and they'll just say it with the A after it. Example, California. An Aussie would say California.
Yeah.
Right? Or area. Over in that area, I've seen Bigfoot.
Over in that area.
Area. Yeah. But yet, if you have something that ends with an R, let's say like the name Peter, it's Pita. Right? Or daughter. Data.
Yeah. Well, then again, if you're in New York, it's daughter. My daughter.
That's interesting. It's just the R and the A's.
Yeah.
At the end of a word.
My grandmother used to say, I wash my car. She used to say wash. I always used to get a kick out of that. Wash.
That's a hijacker thing. Speaking of hijacker, he is now on the schedule after the Gray Zone. Not sure, ladies and gentlemen, if that starts tonight or not, but expect the jacker.
Wow, hijacker coming back.
Yeah, after we put everybody to sleep, he's gonna try to, doom and gloom. It's a morning ride.
Billy Hayes in the chat says, drag him in if you like. Rectify.
Yeah, I believe he has a weather report. We have a new vortex. We've had this new polar vortex being introduced by the meteorologist to us. Now we have a new, I think it's an autumn vortex or something.
Sounds like more mainstream hyper activity.
Yeah. I remember when they developed a new clap.
Fear-mongering.
Ago.
They developed a clap, did you say?
Yeah, they named it after the name of a woman. It's called like Mammaglomulus or something.
I think after this call I'll need to go see my dentist.
Wow, and I don't even know where that equates or mathematically adds up. I'm like dentist from the clap. Wow.
First world fluoride.
Serious. Yeah, first world problems.
First world fluoride. We've been joined by Mr. Billy Hayes himself.
Billy Hayes.
How you doing, sir?
Howdy.
Howdy.
What's up? What?
How's life treating you?
You sound good, man.
Oh, just like you.
Some get your panties in a punch.
Prison. Called the hospital.
Yeah, I escaped. You escaped. What's they going to do now? They ain't got no more meat to pull on.
They can have some of mine.
Oh, man.
Went from bologna to wiener.
Oscar Mayer.
Was meat. But yeah, I heard there's a new vortex in the mainstream.
Yeah.
And what's your name? What's your bologna called?
Who are you asking?
Mr. Billy Hayes he was one of the engineers that helped throw up all the HARP facilities around the globe before realizing what their true intent was to be used as. But I think you had something. We have a new vortex coming down that's going to be changing our weather dramatically, Billy.
Yeah, after comparing multiple visible radar mappings and everything, and seeing some of the activities of the new space fence. Oh, by the way, new space fence is the new HARP. At least parts of it. All the technology that was with HARP is now part of the space fence, United States Air Force space fence.
Vents, like air conditioning vents?
No, fence.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Fence. Okay. Like, we used to have between us and Mexico?
Yeah, like that.
Wait. That was just budgeted.
Not like that screen you had a while ago.
Alright, so space fence is the new HARP. It's just a new fancy term.
Well, that's how the government does things. They just keep on changing words and names of companies and hiding all the money here and there. That's the government for you. But anyways, there appears to be a vortex in the mix here coming out of the upper Arctic, getting ready to push on through upper Canada there. And at the same time, we got a big old low pressure system hanging out there in the Pacific, just outside of Vancouver, and it's kind of rotating, sucking down everything down from Alaska back down on the new jet stream, putting a big node in the jet stream, and here we go. The Arctic vortex is coming down just like it did during the winter, only this is going to be in the fall, so it ain't going to be so bad. It ain't going to be so cold.
It's still going to be wet, though, real wet.
It's going to be a mess, is what we're going to see.
I heard that they dismantled that HARP program up there in North Alaska.
Nah. Now, it was scheduled for a modification 4 years ago. They kept on coming up saying this and that. The whole system was addressed with a new contract with Raytheon, and they're redoing the whole system. They've got the new, what's that called, Operation Deep Freeze. That's part of the new HARP. They got antennas that are mobilized that they can move with the polar centers, the magnetic poles. Instead of being offset from the magnetic pole, they'll be right in the center of the magnetic poles at all times. Every time the pole moves an inch, they move an inch.
These are all like floating, like flotilla barges out in the ocean.
Well, they've been brought down some. Operation Deep Freeze usually only brought in 2 barges and 15 people every year. This year they took 615 people down there and brought in 218 barges. And they kept them. They didn't
Sounds
send
to me
them away.
like they're just digging for oil.
Well, you remember back in January when all those people, those explorers from Operation Deep Freeze got caught in the ice?
Yep.
You notice only one spokesman spoke for all those people on that ship. They wouldn't let those people talk to anybody else. There's a reason for that.
They were stuck in the ice for like 30 days or something.
Yeah, had to try.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like he's been moved to a new location.
We touched upon something. Congratulations, the TheGrayZone did it. Woo!
Yeah.
The witness protection program works.
All right. HAL 9000, good job. Wait, that's our HAL. I meant HAL 5000.
I wanted to ask him about how it works in the Antarctic, because there's a South Pole there, but it's all land, but it's under ice and snow. But
we'll see if we can't get him back here.
I presume he was talking about the North Pole.
Billy, you touched upon something.
How Antarctica.
No, I didn't touch nothing.
It wasn't me.
I
think we're looking at Antarctica in general, right?
Yeah, the South Pole, right?
Yeah. Well, this Operation Deep Freeze covers both Antarctica and the Arctic.
So they came back. They got rescued. There was only one spokesperson for the group because they had something to hide. That's when we lost you.
Yeah, well, that's how the government does things. Oh, we got a spokesman who goes, everybody's happy on the ship. Don't worry about it. Nobody's got a cold. Nobody's sick. Nobody's dying.
I read about as the ice layers defrost, there are trapped viruses potentially that could be unleashed into our biosphere. You read anything about that?
I read the same thing. Well, remember the Russians were down there digging the deep hole in the Antarctic?
Yep.
And 18 out of 100 of their people died?
I remember when they found hell back in the late 90s.
Is that in the form of a boy band? No, just kidding.
That was NSYNC. Sorry, Justin.
I do love me my Justin Timberlake. I love him. So sorry. I don't care if he sold his soul to the devil. I don't care. No, all right. So we're talking about Operation Deep Freeze, and I don't know. I'm looking at the wiki right now on it. It's a code name for a series of United States missions to Antarctica, beginning with Operation Deep Freeze 1 in 1955 to 56, followed by Operation Deep Freeze 2, Deep Freeze 3, and so on. Given the continuing and constant U.S. presence in Antarctica since that date, Operation Deep Freeze has come to be used as a general term for U.S. operations in that continent, and in particular for the regular missions to resupply U.S. Antarctic bases coordinated by the U.S. military.
Yeah, it sounds like a good cover story, don't it?
Yeah, it's a nice wiki.
Meanwhile, this is all part of that new space fence. And the space fence is a combination of all these miracle weaponry systems. Project Starfire, which is the laser system that they fire to initiate sprites. For the last decade, we've been trying to see sprites. Now NASA and our government is up there making sprites. Why? Because it makes tiny, tiny little diamonds, for one thing, and it also makes antimatter.
And sprites are these like vertical beams of light that were seen by soldiers like in Desert Storm in the middle of the night, especially caught on their night vision goggles. They'd pick them up really well, but they're perfectly vertical beams of energy just coming from the sky all the way to the ground. They're stable, though. It's not like lightning.
Well, what the problem is, without the use of electronics, it's not normally seen by the naked eye because it's so much faster than lightning. It's the pulse it utilized is more like an EMP. Get the gist of that?
Yeah. What's the purpose of the creation of the black holes? Is it just playing God, seeing what will happen?
Who knows? You get a bunch of idiots out there. Everyone wants a bigger golf ball, I got a bigger club than you. Watch me hit this big ball.
And it's called getting wood.
Exactly.
And everybody needs a driver on the course.
Considering I used to pick up golf balls off the Andrews Air Force Base golf course back in 1957. Guess whose balls those were? I had President Eisenhower's balls in my hand.
We went back below the waist, everybody.
Well, it's golf balls. I'm sorry. Did I made a misstatement there?
Yeah, you should have had like a nice, Eastern Europe accent, and I had the president's balls in my hand.
I was a first grader.
Ooh,
and
now that's a little different. We're gonna, but okay, so golf balls, and then.
Who's got the biggest balls of them all? That's AC/DC right there. Good song.
It'd be a totally different world if golf was invented by women.
Yeah, I saw a Robin Williams thing on golf. It was very funny. He he was pretending he was really drunk, and he was like a drunk Scottish guy, and he was talking about inventing the game of golf. And if anyone has a chance to see it, all you have to do is Google or YouTube Robin Williams golf, and you'll find it. It's very funny.
I didn't get that second word. I heard Google, but...
Oh, well, some of us, still find ourselves using YouTube. I'm sorry.
It's quite probable that he was quite drunk when he did that skit.
I don't think so. But he did see, but he did have like 8 or 9 or 10 bottles of water up there. So, I don't know. I've never seen that many bottles of water on a comedian's table before while doing a show. It was very interesting. So I don't know what he might have been doing, but I don't think it was drinking alcohol at that time.
I'll always remember him as the genie in Aladdin.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my favorite.
Is that your favorite?
Hey, Andrew, did you ever go up there on the side of that mountain that I was telling you about where those antennas were?
Refresh my memory. What, this mountain here? Oh.
Yeah, Slide Mountain.
No.
Slide Mountain, over towards Reno, between Reno and Carson?
No, I never did that.
Oh, you need to go up there. There's a ski lodge up there and everything.
Okay.
But I put all those antennas up there for the government on top there.
Oh, okay. I'll go check that out. I have to go to Reno on Thursday, so maybe we'll. It's going to be a long day.
We want to report next week.
Slide Mountain. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, you set up on Slide Mountain. You could look down in Carson City and down in Reno and down into the Ponderosa, and you can look right down into Lake Tahoe.
Nice. I'll check it out. That'd be good. Got a couple of business meetings that day. It's my birthday on Thursday. Ooh.
People are dying in Arizona because of this flooding.
Oh, yeah?
Breaking news. 2 killed. This is 4 minutes ago. 2 killed when floodwaters overtook cars. They're evacuating in a county called La Paz County.
I told Jerry Bear not to step out on the back porch and take a leak.
Especially during the supermoon, Jer.
Oh, man.
It is a supermoon, isn't it?
Yep.
It is really bright and pretty.
Yes, it is. And it does not help. Water, the water does not want to seep even more with this supermoon.
I know what it is. And in Vegas, they only flush once every 6 months.
And that's a buffet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Circus. Circus. Just take the big flush.
What is your favorite hotel there? Mine would be the Mirage still.
Oh, I'm still a circus guy.
Yeah. We still go to the Luxor, although it was way cooler when it first opened. So.
All those real expensive ones, you don't get free rooms.
Yeah.
I do like the design of that elevator, though, at the Luxor. 45 degree.
Right.
Or what have you. It's probably like 33.33 degrees or something.
Something like that. I don't know. That's very much.
Actually, the last time I was out there, everything that I know that was out there before, they blew up. It's all gone. All the old...
They're practicing for 9/11.
Oh, gosh.
That's terrible.
Those crazy Mormons out there, they don't know when they got it good.
The Mormons have to do with it. That just sounded good. They're just playing Joseph Smith and his followers.
That's the other desert.
Yeah, well, everybody looks at Salt Lake City, Utah as being the home of the Mormons, but really, Vegas was owned by the Mormons. For real.
Interesting. Wonder when they turned against gambling. Probably at the same time as alcohol, smoking, and caffeine, right? They just said, nope, all at once, cold turkey. And gave the mafia Vegas.
Hey, I'm going to take a little pause here. I'm going to have to pause the mic for a minute. I got to change the tube here on this medicine machine.
Okay.
Be right back.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right. Yeah, I saw a video recently on your favorite channel, YouTube, or on your favorite website, YouTube, and this guy, Jason A. Okay, so Jason and then a space and then the letter A. He's putting together some very interesting videos, and I saw this one on all the different phenomena that are happening right now. And what happened in August, he did a wrap-up of like all the natural disasters and all the fish and birds that are dying and all of the different sinkholes that are happening and the eruptions for volcanoes and earthquakes and all this. And he put it together for August, and it was very moving. Just showing the earth is rumbling. I know it always has, and you've got your skeptics who say, oh, there's always earthquakes, there's always this, there's always that, but it really, it was very moving, and I find that, whatever we're headed toward, I think we're just a little bit closer than we were, a year ago for sure. I mean, obviously, when you look at time and linear
There's
time.
definitely going to be a climax coming.
Yeah.
Wow.
So perhaps you don't, think that this has anything to do with this supermoon, which basically is the moon closer to Earth in orbit than it is normally.
Do I happen to think that?
Well,
I think we're talking about something bigger, like Planet X type of deal.
No. Earth,
See, the moon definitely has after the show.
Hey,
the moon has a definite pull on the Earth.
Yeah.
It creates the tides, and if it's a billion miles closer, don't you think that might actually affect tectonic plates? Anything liquid.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So why is it so weird?
There's a definite relationship, obviously.
Go ahead, Billy.
Man, I was having fun in the dark here. I was trying to find my hose here to plug into the medical dispensing machine. And I've been probing around trying to push the wrong tube. I was trying to put my catheter into my step lock. Ooh.
First world problems.
That would be bad. But you should videotape it if you do it.
Oh, boy,
that's first world style.
Well, I told you about that trick about trying to run it through twice when they come for the UA sample, right?
That's right. This one seems a little high in vitamin C, Doc.
Did you try it?
I didn't. I was toast. They had me barely conscious in there.
That's when you can get by with things like that.
What Billy's talking about is what he did to the young nurses. Only the cute ones. Is they dropped the urine sample bottle on him and said, "Yeah, fill the cup for me." So he'd take his apple juice and pour it in, and next time the nurse came in, he'd pull up the cup, make sure they locked eyes. He'd uncap it and just start chugging it, and he'd say, "This one needed to go through again. It seemed a bit thick."
You get these young nurses running down the hall screaming,
What's a little piss among friends? Come on.
That's stuff. I mean, to learn stuff like that, the man's been in the hospital a few times. So, come on, that's good stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty funny stuff.
But, whoa. Yeah, you need to
light of a hospital. That's difficult to do.
Here's one. Let's see. Hospitals. Why it is more important than ever to steer clear of them. This one came out a few days ago from Natural News, since we're talking about hospitals all of a sudden. We're all over the board here, by the way, everyone. It is a round table. It's the Gray Zone here on Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com or revolution-radio.com, whatever you prefer, whatever your little heart desires. And we would love it if you would want to join us, and there's a couple of ways to do that. You can call 347-688-2902, or you can add us as Freedom Screen on Skype, or, if you can add me, this Blue Monkey. And I always have a problem saying your Skype name, man. I'm not sure if you're giving it out, but Rectify also has a Skype, but I can pass it along if you guys find me.
This Blue Monkey will get to us, no problem.
Yeah. I'll get it to you.
Why not go to the hospital?
Oh, yeah. Here, let me...
I know. It's because people that die in hospitals. There's more people that die in the hospital than anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, at least per capita, I'm assuming. Okay, so here's what it says. It's coming from Natural News. It may seem obvious that any time is a good time to be well, but it rings even more true now than it did a couple of decades ago. The threats to our health are continuously growing, and even places that are deemed safe and therapeutic have become contaminated. Dun, dun, dun. And so why is it more important than ever to stay out of hospitals? Conventional medical care is expensive? No. Dangerous? No. And not natural. So
in other words, you get a first world bill with your first world surgery.
Yeah, like $23,000 for a 2-day stay, baby. And that was, and I didn't even, I can't say it. I was going to make a joke, but I can't.
Hey, breaking news, Angela. 1 hour ago, public health officials warned people to avoid floodwaters in Phoenix due to possibility of infections from germs.
Yeah, like remember Katrina and that whole thing.
Come on, that's common sense. Don't drink the frickin' dirty bathwater.
Unless you have MMS, and you can purify just about anything. Ask Billy.
Yeah, you got that right. I was down there swimming. You should have seen those big brown things. You pick them up and they look like candy bars. There's lots of that.
Ew, I hope you're talking about leeches and not what I think you're talking about, but no.
No,
Ew,
let's
not. No. Negative.
Yeah, like floating brown torpedoes.
All right, anyway, going on with this article, I'm going to try to keep this, above the waist. If you live in the U.S., you have the most expensive health care in the world. And unfortunately, it also ranks dead last. Oh, we're at the end of this break. You want to take us out, Rich?
Station break coming up. We'll be back. We're going to bring it back above the waist. I promise. You're listening to The Gray Zone. Stick
Keep it clean.
Bingo, I get bingo.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Who owns you? If you're not in control, then someone else is. Join me, Ivy West, for Voices on the Wind, Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern in Studio A. I discuss government, health, metaphysics, suppressed science, universal mysteries, little-known incredible facts, alternative energies, and even more than you can imagine. Won't you join us on Revolution Radio Saturdays from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern for Voices on the Wind with me, Ivy West.
There are lives in the balance, people under fire, children to cannons.
Because if your head's in the sand, your tail is a target.
Hi everybody, it's me, The Fetch, host of Inside the Eye Live. Before the Sunday mainstream media political pundit talk shows, there's Inside the Eye Live, where we break down some of the weekly mainstream media talking points before the talking points even get aired. Add in some entertaining stories, weather, cats, intriguing and informative guests, and you get one of the most listened to Saturday morning streaming media political talk shows going today. And it's all right here on our flagship station, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. So join me, The Fetch, for Inside the Eye Live every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern. It is truly intelligent media for the politically aware.
I have worked with the CIA, NSA, Templars, and Bilderbergers. Now I work for you. My show will disclose secrets of science and esoteric knowledge. Join me, Stephen D. Kelly, for 2 hours every Thursday night at 10 o'clock Eastern Time on freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio, Studio A. You can also listen to previous shows by going to youtube.com/Free Revolution Radio.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning.
We are far stronger than we were 10 weeks ago.
General Quarters, all hands at your battle stations.
You're nervous, not your toes. Only the mastermind around here.
You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top.
Well, check it out every Tuesday and Saturday on Revolution Radio. It's a double dose of the internationally recognized renegade military historian Douglas Dietrich.
You'll stay right where you are till I tell you to move out.
Yeah, that's right. Tuesdays from 10 to midnight Eastern Time. Join Douglas Dietrich as he exposes the truth in hidden history on his show Critical Omissions. And then our human weapon of mass destruction is back once again to take your calls on Saturday Night Firing Lines. Both from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Only on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
This is Thomas, a.k.a. a Mad Painter. I'd like you to join me Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. You're opposed to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here. Revolution Radio. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to the TheGrayZone Roundtable, Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. No corporate ties, corporate duct tape dictating our freedom of speech. It shall remain that way as long as we are supported by you. Join us, 347-688-2902. Enter the Gray Zone.
Hi, welcome back everyone to the Gray Zone. I am Angela Black, the co-hostess of this amazing show hosted by Rectify. And Wingman sometimes pops up, but he's been busy doing the JOB this month, so I'm in for a bit. And yeah, you've got Rectify here as your host. It's freedomslips.com, the number one 100% listener-supported radio station on the internet. And we're just stoked to be here. It's free speech here, which is exciting, and the only way we can do that is by you, the listeners. So please do find yourself hitting the donate button or the support tab at the top of the homepage. You can also go to revolution-radio.com and find yourself donating, whatever in your pocket, unless you're, carrying around a huge wad of money, but nonetheless, we'd like some of it. And, it'd be really great because basically we aren't run by corporate bureaucracy. We aren't run by political agenda. We are here to, basically bring information to you to inspire you to do your own research, etc. And this, by the way, is a round table, and we are taking calls at 347-688-2902, or you can add us on Skype. You can add me. I'm this blue monkey on Skype, or you can add the words freedom screen. It's all one word, actually. And we will be happy to add you into the call. So, yeah, we are talking about a variety of things. We went to break, and I think I was talking about why not to be in hospitals these days. But anyway, what Rectify? Are you here?
We got Billy Hayes and Mr. Audio Murphy still with us.
Nice. Welcome to the Gray Zone.
Stay out of hospitals. They'll kill you.
Yeah.
If they don't make you better.
Yeah.
It's the best place in the world where you can get a septic infection and a staph infection all at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I get fries with that?
So anyway, we were talking about the reasons. Basically, it's expensive, dangerous, and not natural. Now, they do help, from time to time. I mean, they helped our good friend Rectify here and me as well. So hospitals aren't always bad, but nonetheless, it's a good idea to be healthy and not find yourself winding up in one if at all possible. Basically, recent research reveals 210,000 lives are lost each year by preventable hospital errors. If you choose to include diagnostic errors, failure to follow proper guidelines, omission errors, then the number climbs to 440,000 preventable deaths each year. Turns out that these errors are the third leading cause of death in the U.S. immediately after heart disease and cancer. So, yeah. And then also, don't forget about the superbugs. Bacteria that have adapted in ways that antibiotics no longer affect them. They eat your antibiotics for breakfast. And I don't know where that accent came from, but anyway, it's become a serious threat that's growing, according to WHO, the World Health Organization. A recent report shows that 2 million people are infected annually with antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and 23,000 or so die.
I'll tell you why, Angela. I'll tell you why. All these people
Please do.
It's because of the stupid Purell hand cleaners, the sanitizers.
Right, it creates superbugs.
Yeah, you're not building your own immune system. You're allowing something to protect you, like a condom. I don't trust condoms, people. Do you? Seriously?
Wow.
I'm
gotta
wearing
have
a condom
control.
right now.
Your body needs to be able to fight for itself. You cannot sit there and mimic a fight for your body. It's not going to happen. Not just that, but they have estrogen mimickers in that hand sanitizer. And also in your receipts. All your your thermal receipts you get, there is an estrogen mimicker in there also. So
in the
all
receipts?
you
like you're talking about a piece of paper?
Yes. All you girly men out there wondering where all this is coming from. And it's sushi, too. If you go to get your sushi in the soy, it's in the soy.
Yes,
soy.
it is.
Yes. Green tea, also. It's there. Same with fluoride, sodium fluoride. You'll find that in your green tea. Yum. Yeah, man. Just go back to the
I'm not a
old
rock
days. Get dirty.
scientist, Rectify, but I can say that you are correct in one aspect where this genetically, or actually antibiotics is a man-made, basically immune suppressing, fighter, which actually the body or any organism actually can counter, and it has been.
Right, you never can get the same bug twice, because after you beat it, it can't invade again.
Exactly, because these things are pharmaceutically produced. They're not produced through the body. It's produced in a lab, and they're trying to inject into your body, which basically your body actually kind of rejects it. Right. And this
might even kill you.
It can. It has killed people.
Hey, but I was at the grocery store today, and there's a big old sign at the front doors that said 10% off all groceries if you get your flu shot.
Yeah. It freaks me out, And then don't forget your shingles vaccination as well. You get that too. By your pharmacist? I mean, really, do the pharmacists basically inject you? Is that what goes on?
They have this entire little room that they build inside the supermarkets. It's totally separate from the pharmacy. And it's like a miniature doctor's office they build in a frickin' grocery store. So there's gotta be a crap load of sheep that are taking these vaccinations.
It is trippy. I don't know who, I talk to people and they're like, did you get your flu shot? And I'm like, nah, no.
I've been to Myers and Super Walmart and they had everything, but my God, now they have doctor's offices?
Yeah.
Well,
I was satisfied with just a shoe repairman over there.
This was a Vaughn's Pavilions, so it's kind of, that's a first world place right there.
Yeah, first world problems, is when you can't open the door to the back room that's a little mini doctor's office at your supermarket.
First world problems when you go into the restroom of a restaurant and all there is the last roll of the toilet paper, nothing left.
Yeah, and there's hand sanitizer for you.
But you do realize when you go to Walgreens, at least you get a doctor that speaks English. I mean, you go to these big hospitals.
You need doctors listen to their patients these days?
Oh, nah. They're all foreigners. You go to these big hospitals and you have to have a translator to figure out what's going on. I mean, how they know what's wrong with you? They poke at you, and then he turns to the nurse and says something to the nurse, and the nurse will turn back and look at you. He wants to know if that hurts. That's 20 seconds later.
You know what the nurse is really doing behind the scenes is she's getting on the laptop and Googling it. It's coming to that point, guys. We're going to have, Dr. Google.
State of the United States health.
It's not her laptop. It's her smartphone. Let's get
Obamacare, right? Obamacare.
That's right. Better than that. Take care of you.
You laugh because you're in Canada.
Oh, my God.
Better than that, the doctor's sitting there watching YouTube so he knows how to do the next operation.
Right.
I laugh all the way to the emergency room. I'm fine.
DIY.
DIY. Do it yourself. It's the new way.
Yeah, go to YouTube. Do DIY. The doctor's sitting there watching it when you walk in his room. So.
No, I was actually pretty impressed by the technology at the hospital these days. They had old mixed with new stuff, though. That was kind of weird.
I just want to add there, you kind of make fun of Canada, but really, our taxes go to pay for the health care. If you go to hospital, it's free. You don't pay shit.
Ours go to pay for bombs, so we got to watch
Exactly. So, happy bombing the whole fucking world.
Whoa!
Hey, you're on air.
Man, this is radio.
Shall I name the countries?
As long as it doesn't include the F word or the S word.
Where do you think you are, dude?
Korea, or was that north, south? Probably both. Vietnam.
That's the only thing we're forbidden from is, because we are FCC regulated, we do go out on a few terrestrial stations, Audio Murphy, just careful on the
It's okay, baby.
Swears. Yeah, I know it's...
Well, I'm just an angry citizen of it.
I'm angry too, brother. Trust me, on my day off, I'm left and right, F-bomb this and that.
Don't we have a 3-minute delay here where you can push the button and
it's like 20 seconds or something.
We don't have a bleeper, though.
Yeah.
You got a flasher.
I'm watching the chat room a little bit here on Revolution Radio, and I don't know, everybody's kind of, people are kind of bickering at each other a little bit. I just hope everybody gets along. We like our chat room to be, drama-free, and so I'm not naming names at all. I'm just kind of watching... I'm just watching it scroll, and it looks like people are kind of arguing, so I hope that everyone can find
the moon.
Yes, the moon.
Let me just relate this one story for you, just to get off the subject. Okay, here we are in September of 2014. Last November of 2013, I was at a funeral with a friend. Dad died. Our old gang was back together, and 2 days later, one guy that I worked with, the one that was sitting at the table, he went into get tests done on his heart. He was having pains or something, and they said he had blockage in 4 arteries or whatever the hell it was. So he immediately went into surgery. It was like a shock kind of thing. Anyway, he was out of work 3 months, whatever. But you know what? He didn't pay a goddamn dime in anything. Medical costs. Nothing. He may have paid for his aftercare medication, maybe half price or something. Because there are... they take a vein out of your leg and then cut it up and put it here, to bypass. That's what a bypass is. And just so there's not a rejection or something. So he's got to take some medication. So yeah. He didn't
glad it was successful, quadruple bypass. That's
yeah. Actually, they told him it was triple, but when they actually opened them, it was actually 4. So anyway, he was out of work 3 months. He's back to work and all this and stuff. But believe it or not, this bypass surgery is commonplace. It's like pulling a tooth. It really is.
What's like pulling a tooth?
Bypass surgery.
Oh, well.
But they got to stop the heart and all that.
No, they don't stop the heart. No.
Really?
For bypass surgery, no.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is, Canada, the healthcare is paid for. Now, this is the problem in the United States. You're going to pay $35,000 for a procedure like that. And who the hell can afford that? Nobody. And one Tylenol, one bloody Tylenol.
Yes, thank you for not swearing.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I'm hearing a couple of things. So yeah, please do. I mean, we love having you on the show. Do not get me wrong, but if you could totally.
One Tylenol, let me guess, $100.
Well, I don't know what is it in the United States, but in Canada it's
$5.
It's free.
Yeah.
Free. Wow. We used to know that word here.
Smiles are free.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you have to pay for that too.
I have to pay for my smile? Yeah, true, right? I got to go to the dentist.
First world problems.
Man,
first world problems.
I'll tell you what, you go down the street, in a big town now and smile on the corner and someone's going to give you money.
350 million people in there. And
20 million. They always say, I'm glad you're working this corner today. I got tired.
All right, it looks like we're talking at the same time.
Oh, were you talking too?
No, Audio Murphy, I heard 300 and something million people suing.
No, I said there was 350 million Americans now.
Well, I think it's more than that.
20 million. No. Back when Rick Dodd was alive, we were monitoring that, and that was like, I think 5 years ago. It topped 300 million. Now it's 350 million. Just in the United States alone. And during the 2008 recession, let's say, it was what the heck did they say? 10% unemployment. So that's 30 million people out of work. That's back in 2008. That's a substantial amount of people. And
that's just the official figure of people that are able-bodied who are looking for work.
The ones who register,
Yeah, so I mean, I'm certain that the unemployment rate is incredibly higher than that.
A lot closer to like 50%, 50.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that aren't working.
If it's ever 50%, there should be a revolution. Totally.
We don't have a manufacturing base anymore. Like zero.
It's gone. You don't manufacture anything in the United States.
Poison. We manufacture poison and bombs and weapons.
Monsanto, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, true that.
And
fear.
And
manufacture fear.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And wine. Yeah, I said wine. Yeah. But there's poison in there. Well, actually, maybe poison.
Did you say poison? Yes.
I did.
Yeah, I was just looking up something about poison. Here's an article. I'm saying a lot all of a sudden. So marine mutants wash up on shore, and no, I'm not talking about a heavily armored guy who swam. I'm talking about I'm talking about a two-headed dolphin. Is a sign of chemical poisoning tipping point. In August 2014, a conjoined dolphin pup slightly over a yard long floated onto the shore of a beach in Turkey. An onlooker was horrified to witness what had appeared to be a two-headed dolphin, but technically the two-headed monster was a conjoined set of twins, what we commonly call Siamese twins. In April of 2011, around a year after the BP Gulf disaster, an actual two-headed bull shark was found in the uterus of a shark caught by a fisherman in the Gulf of Mexico. It took until 2013 for scientists to confirm that it was actually a two-headed bull shark and not conjoined twins. The current politically correct conjecture for animal kingdom omens and signs that nature is turning against itself is global warming, but that conjecture doesn't cover the usual suspects of corporate/government actions of exploiting resources and polluting the earth, water, and air. So it says basically pollution reality check. Over the past few years, several events have added up to a warning of extinction for all life that may come due to nuclear radiation, chemical pollution, and big agriculture's agrochemical runoff from fields into streams, waterways, and seas. Creatures of the sea and air, and especially amphibious creatures, have shown the most signs of distress. Lately, there's been an increasing conjecture, seems to be the word of the article, of global warming as the primary cause for upsetting the lowest levels of support for aquatic life in the oceans or inland waterways, such as plankton or algae, which begin the feeding order of the more mobile forms of aquatic life. So basically, I don't know, and then, we're looking at things like Lake Erie and that whole algae bloom, and it basically suffocating the wildlife that lives underneath. People can't drink the water, et cetera. Toxicities, bad stuff going on with your water and your air. So, just terrible, terrible stuff. I hate being a negative person when it comes to all this stuff, but I'm just thinking, I love joking around, I really do, but I also just wanted to bring up a couple of things tonight, in general, to, we're talking about Fukushima, we're talking about radioactive material, we're talking about, abnormal growth, in different animals, we're talking about the wash up of, big populations of animals on shores, etc.
You guys notice a lack of birds lately?
Lack of birds.
Hey, you guys left out earthquakes.
Yeah, earthquakes, fracking, all that kind of stuff. Volcanoes.
You need to tell Bill that it's been shaking out here. We had just today we had a 3.1, and a 3.4 just south of Leonard.
We also had about 5 hours ago, we had an M5.6 class solar flare ejected at us. So all that mixed together, it's going to be a fun night, I think.
Well, that flare won't get here until about almost 2 days away.
Oh, the mass ejection, yeah.
What was that? I missed that last thing. I was telling Bill that.
Oh, the coronal mass ejection takes about 72 hours. If it put out a flare, then that's about 8 minutes to get to you. But the actual mass that it ejects, the sun, it takes about 3 days.
Wow.
So we're looking at Thursday, everybody. Expect to feel weird again.
9/11. That's my birthday.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting.
Isn't that kind of odd?
That is.
It pops up on 9/11.
Yeah.
I'm glad you put that in there, Blue Monkey. Or what do we call you here? I know what I want to call you.
I've been called many things. No, I go by Angela or I go by this Blue Monkey. It doesn't really matter. You can call me anything. Just don't call me. I'm not going to say it.
No, I won't. I better not call you the Blue Monkey because that's the name. That used to be the name of my thing.
That used to be the name of what?
My thing.
My thing? I don't know what that is.
We were talking about what you called your thing earlier.
Oh.
Your thing.
My thing. Well, don't call me that. That I'm not.
I used to watch the Smurfs when I was young. That's almost a little Blue Monkey.
Yeah, a little Smurfette.
Yeah. She knew what she was doing, I'll tell you that much.
You're the only female in a bunch of Smurfs, you better know.
Tribal style right there. In high heels, might I add.
Yeah, I always had that finger out there going, come here, come here.
All right, another fun fact of the day. Let's try to get this one right here, Rectify. Males, if you look at your hands, put your fingers all together, males' index finger, your pointer finger, will always be shorter or even to your ring finger. On a female, the pointer or index finger will always be longer than the ring finger. And the reason for that is because of generations of women pointing the blame at their man, saying it's all
I
your
heard
fault.
that from Sean David Morton, too, okay? I heard that joke.
That's not true at all. My God.
It's funny, though, but it's not true.
It's funny, of course, but that is actually totally sexist and stupid.
If you really want to make a woman feel weird, tell
If
her.
I had
tell her
breasts and a
about the size
vagina,
of her foot.
I would smack you.
Tell her about the size of her foot being between the wrist and the bend in the elbow. That'll freak her out until she puts her foot up there.
Well, isn't that... I'm not going to go there either. I'm leaving it all alone. I am. I'm going to take the high road here.
Or you're going to just lay your feminist ambitions just to the side?
I'm going to not engage.
Ayn Rand's turning over in her grave.
Joan Rivers is turning over in hers.
There you go. She knew it too.
All right,
Jack
let's stay on
Evans.
topic. We're talking Canadian medical and American or U.S. medical. So I got something personal that I wanted to bring up. First time ever, by the way, I'm on some sort of dole. I'm on Medi-Cal or Medicaid or whatever that thing is, just because of I didn't have insurance. You know, it's kind of a downtime for a lot of us right now. So, and I got sick, so I had to go to the hospital, and so I've got a thing called a social worker, and this guy is supposed to be the middleman between the bills in this first world and, you know, all the people that did the services or what have you. And my social worker needed some paperwork from me, so I told him, can I scan it and email it to you? And he said yes. He's not very bright. Okay, these people are not.
Scan
very bright.
what? What are you scanning?
I'm going to scan over my driver's license and my birth certificate, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and I want to email it because I keep faxing it and it's too blurry. So it's like, yeah, I've got an email address. We can do it this way, but we got to do it secure. He says, I gotta show you how to do it secure. And I said, okay, no problem. And know this, I mean, I've been working IT since I was very young. So, I mean, I know this is hilarious. So I go, okay, I can't wait to see like the government's way of securing their email, right? Thinking all high tech and all this. It's like, all right. He gives me his email address, all slow like, and it's a .com, by the way. The word OCGov is in the domain name, but it ends with .com, not even a .gov. So he gives me his email address and he says, now, you want to go to the subject line, type in a left bracket. That's that's left half of a square looking thing. He's all, now what you want to do is type the word secure and then put a right bracket in.
Wow. Yeah,
oh my God, I couldn't.
This is a government.
Yes, this was a social services worker. That was him.
You
in
put
all
that in the
seriousness.
subject line, secure.
Yes, in brackets. The word secure.
Yeah. That won't tip anybody off.
I'm like, yeah, okay, so I'm going to have identity theft to look out for now.
Well, hey,
I always have a saying. Go ahead.
I need to help Vaubear out here. She's got some pain.
Oh, okay.
Vaubear,
chocolate.
If you put on a pair of nylons, the short nylons, get a golf ball and stick it down behind the calf of your leg, underneath the nylon, right behind the center of your calf. It's unbelievable, but it will stop the pain that you're having.
Wow.
Damn, I'm going to try that right now.
You don't even know the pain.
Look back on golf balls.
I'm just going to go steal my girlfriend's nylons.
It's a pressure point.
Ah, there you go.
I have plenty of golf
It's a sciatic problem or a lower spinal issue. Am I pretty close there, Billy?
Yeah, it'll take care of your sciatic, and it will also mask the pain of hemorrhoids.
Wow, and so you can actually take those kind of socks, the miracle socks or whatever, and you're saying put the golf ball in the back of your calf?
Yep, on the back of your calf, right behind, that little dimple that's in your calf. Put it right there in that dimple, and that's a pressure point. And just golf ball with that pressure from a nylon or the sock will put enough pressure there to heat that pressure point, And it's unreal what it does. I mean, people just, wow.
Do you do that nightly?
Do I do it to who?
You, nightly. Yourself.
Oh, not lately.
Why not? Aren't you in pain?
I can't feel my legs no more, so.
Anybody needs that remedy is you, man. Come on, throw some golf balls in the air, cat.
I need golf balls on the head. That's where mine is.
So I don't know if she's listening, so I'm just putting it in the chat. Billy Hayes just gave you some advice about putting a golf ball where exactly again? Behind,
on the back of your cap.
On the back
right
of your cap. Okay, your cap.
Underneath
secured by a sock or something.
Yeah, put a nylon on. That works best.
Okay. Okay.
First world Asian medicine right there, acupuncture.
Yeah, there you go. Acupressure, that would be.
Acupressure. No needles.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, any of you have a problem saying the word no?
No.
I noticed a lot of people have the problem saying no.
I don't. I used to.
All.
Not anymore.
Not at all.
I remember I had some. I'm sorry. I had some interesting people. I had a social event I went to, and some, I don't know, conservative people invited my husband and myself to this event, and I'm not going to get into the details of it, but I ran into some kind of cool, kooky friends of mine, and, it just wasn't going to mix, and I, he was like, come on, and he might have been on a few substances, and I was like, because I don't mind, I can hang out with anybody, but, I saw stress coming my way, and my husband's way if I was going to bring him over to meet the group. And he, like I said, he was kind of stoned and drunk out of his mind. So I thought, not a good idea. And I didn't want to lie. So he said, let me go see Bill and let me go say hi. And I looked at him straight in the eyes and I go, no. And he goes, oh, come on. And I said, no. And I felt bad. I really did. I kind of hemmed and hawed with it for about 2 or 3 days afterwards. I kept saying, I feel so bad. But you know what? It was the truth. I could not do that. And so I said specifically just straight up no. And it worked. So.
Christians. I was caught between God and the lion's den.
Okay. I don't know. It was more of a social. It was more of a social thing. But sure, if you want to take it to church. Anyway, so I can say no. Why was that question posed?
I don't know. There's 2 more I had though. Like, how about people that say I can't or I'll try when you ask them to do
I'm
something?
trying. Yeah.
It's like just do it.
Yeah, totally.
I don't try anything.
Can't. I try to use. Look at me. I said I try. Well, but I don't use the word can't as often as possible. I change it. I literally will go in and revamp that sentence and say I don't or I won't, so that I can make it the choice that it is. And that way, if I ever do need to use the word can't, it will be specifically chosen because, for instance, I can't jump off a cliff and without some type of a wingsuit and expect to fly. That's can't.
You really did that?
No.
I'll relate a story here where a guy was having one of my friends, one of good friends of mine, was having problems in his life, and he expressed suicidal tendencies, and I said, man, come on, man, get off that shit.
There you go again.
We're here for you. We're here for you. You don't need to think like that and stuff. Just come on, just get your mind off that. And why are you thinking of it? He wouldn't divulge why he was thinking of this, but I discouraged him from that. And then I even told his brother. I said, man, your brother's like, he wants to kill himself. So what the hell's up with that? He's like, nah, I don't believe that. He's like, I don't believe me. Like, no, man, no. He's talking about it. Yeah, he just blew it off. His own brother blew it off. And then, the guy was going on, like, after next week I saw him, like, same thing. He was like, man, don't do it, don't fucking do it, don't.
Hey, please, we're not going to be able to have you on the show, honey. Yeah, we got
Canadians. Sorry about that.
We love you, audio, but yeah, the language, not good.
Bad audio, Murphy.
Yeah. No, and I mean, some of us swear like sailors off the air, but it's not on the air. It's just not a good idea.
You gotta have some self-control.
Yeah, but we love you. Thank you for joining us. It was actually an interesting story, but, just...
Women like self-control.
women, well, so do men, I suppose.
I can't. I'll try.
No, women are always pointing their fingers at men saying, you control me. You control me.
My husband uses the word micromanagement. And you're micromanaging me. I'm like, you know what? You just like that because it has a lot of syllables. That's why. Because you could say it.
Micromanagement.
Anyway, well, if you hang out with somebody long enough, chances are you're going to micromanage them. I don't know. Just, it's part of the territory, I think.
And it's never equal either. There's always more micromanagement from one side than the other.
Bo Bear, you can do either leg, but you will find one leg does it better than the other.
Just one leg?
I always do it. I do it until I find the right leg. That didn't sound nice.
Not the left one? All right.
Well, mine was always predominantly my left. If you're right-handed, most of your nerve endings are in your left leg.
Okay.
And if you're left-handed, it's normally in your right leg. But that's normal people. And, of course, Bo Bear, she might not be normal.
Well, if she spends as much time as she does helping out the station, I wonder on that level, how normal can that be?
I mean, she can't be normal. She can't be normal with all she does. She is.
Yeah, she does do a lot.
Wow.
And for all the listeners, Bo Bear is one of the upper management here at Revolution Radio, keeping all the threads tight in the quilt that it is.
Yeah, she's a great. She's been my shoulder from time to time throughout my stay here at Revolution Radio, which is almost since the beginning. I've been here, off and on since almost the very beginning. So that's an interesting thing. But I loves me my auntie Bo Bear, and we all do. So, actually everyone in the chat and everyone that's, part of this station are amazing people. We're a family. Sometimes there's, little spats from time to time, but we seem to resolve them. Everything goes fine. And don't forget the amazing Nighthawk who brings this amazing Truth Network to you, the listener. And once again, if you can find yourself hitting the donate button or the support tab at the top of the homepage, we would highly appreciate and recommend that you throw a few bucks our way toward the station. Make things go. This month we've raised $315 from donations and or people purchasing items in the swag store, etc. Yeah. And we have $1,980 to go. No, I'm sorry, that's the total. So just under $2,000 a month to run the station is basically the bottom line. And no, it's not one of those $5 a month website things. I mean, there's a lot that goes on, and I guess Nighthawk had a a lightning strike 2 or 3 weeks ago, and literally, I mean, I just keep picturing him with a wire in his mouth, his hand on one thing, and some duct tape somewhere, and his foot holding another thing together. He basically had to patch the station together from ashes, if you will, and build it back up. So
that's the same day that PooTube got rid of over 4,000 of our videos.
Yeah, that is weird. And then it was a lightning strike, huh? That is bizarre.
Coincidence? I think not.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if the people who are at YouTube who did whatever they do, or whoever it was that stopped the station from having a channel on YouTube, I don't think they have the power to summon lightning, do you?
I don't know. I don't mess with that stuff anymore. Well, here's a cool article. California city mandates free medical marijuana for low-income residents. This is Berkeley. Sweet. Berkeley City Council in California has unanimously approved ordering medical marijuana, medical marijuana dispensaries to donate 2% of their stash to patients making less than $32,000 a year. The new welfare program in the liberal-leaning city is set to launch in August 2015. Got to wait a year, everybody. The ordinance, which passed in August and is the first of its kind in the country, comes in a time when several states are debating on how to handle a growing movement to legalize marijuana for both medical and recreational use. But Berkeley's decision to effectively order weed redistribution is prompting vocal backlash. Bishop Ron Allen, a former addict and head of the International Faith-Based Coalition, told Fox News he doesn't understand why the California city would want to dump pot on the impoverished. It's ludicrous, over-the-top madness, Allen said. Why would Berkeley City Council want to keep their poverty-stricken, underserved high in poverty and lethargic? What? Okay. Why would Berkeley City Council want to keep their poverty-stricken, underserved high in poverty and lethargic? Okay, that's... Yeah, he's saying, I'm a pastor, I fear God, I'm a good Christian. These people are poor because they're scum of the earth, and you want to give them weed, which is going to make them even scummier. That's awesome. Anyways, instead of taking steps, he says, to help the most economically vulnerable residents get out of that state, the city has said, let's just get everybody high, Lovell told the New York Times. But others, like Mason Tvert, director of communications at the Marijuana Policy Project, says it's a community program. Tvert told Fox News that the decision to provide the drug to some of its low-income residents is up to the community. So it's a matter of the democratic process, people following the state's laws, and this law appears to accommodate both of those. So yeah, I mean, come on. The majority of the people wanted it. The council unanimously voted it in. Back off religion. Quit mixing church and state, damn it. I think it's awesome. I think we should all grow, just like back in George Washington's mandated days of growing.
Oh, well, those days were so good.
Were you back then? Were you there? I knew you were old. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I tell that to my husband all the time. I'm certainly not trying to. I had to go for the joke. Today I was at a particular store, the Gross Out. They call it the Gross Out because it's a grocery outlet, but you got to check your expiration dates. But I went there because they have they have fiber bars there that I get that are a better deal than anywhere else. So and that's where I hurt my ear, which I told you about before we got on the air tonight. I was in the parking lot of the Gross Out. Anyway, I had a point. Oh yeah, they had bags of hemp seeds there that they were for sale for like $6. I didn't get them today, but I think I'm going to get them.
Oh, tell us about your diatomaceous earth.
Yeah, the diatomaceous earth.
Yeah.
I got that today, and I've always wanted to get it, and I've never done it, But anyway, it was only like $6 or something like that for a pound of diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth is basically it's a siliceous sedimentary rock that's easily crumbled into a fine white to off-white powder. It has to do with diatoms, which are ancient fossilized. They're ancient organisms.
Microscopic shells, basically.
They're diatomaceous earth. It's fossilized remains of diatoms, a type of hard-shelled algae, and they use it it's a natural pesticide because it's very. I guess if you put it under a microscope, it's very prickly looking. Sharp, yeah.
Cuts the bugs up.
Yeah, so, either that or it it's also, so this is food grade. There's different grades, and you can't be eating the non-food grade version. But I did do a tablespoon of it tonight, my very first tablespoon of diatomaceous earth. And no, that's not a band with Jack Black in it. Diatomaceous earth. Anyway.
It's diatomaceous earth.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. Anyway, so I did my first tablespoon tonight, and I did that with the super powder stuff that I bought, and I'm feeling peppy. I really am, and I was pretty tired all day, so it's very interesting. I was making a joke earlier in the chat room about how I was on the super powder, but not that one. So, okay, this one, which looks like that super powder, but anyway, it's supposed to like kind of.
Watch out, Bill.
Billy Hayes says, watch out, Bill. Poor Bill. He's lived with me all these years. He knows exactly what he's in for. So anyway, mild abrasive in products including toothpaste, mechanical insecticide, absorbent for liquids, matting agent for coatings, reinforcing filler in plastics and rubber, all kinds of different uses for diatomaceous earth. They put it in grains, so that the bugs that want to feast on the grains basically will die, and then you'll have bug carcass in your grains, dead bug carcass which ate ancient dead diatoms. So yeah, just a bunch of carcass, in your grain. Why not? So anyway, yeah, it's supposed to kill like worms and parasites and that type of thing in the human. And so I started it today. And if I live to tell the tale, I will tell you next week. Interestingly, on a side note, the non-food grade diatomaceous earth I think they use it in diapers and, things that are absorbent. And at the grocery store that I used to work, they had it's called diatomaceous earth, or they call it something else, but basically if you have like an oil, say somebody dropped a bottle of olive oil on the ground, and that's just a terrible, thing to try to clean up in a grocery store in a fair amount of time. So you take this stuff, which is basically diatomaceous earth, and you spread it all around it. It's a powder, and it absorbs all the liquid, and you just sweep it up into a dustpan, and it's amazing. It's so absorbent. So it's supposed to help with detoxification, parasite and worm things, in case you've got something living inside of you like that. So yeah, diatomaceous earth, starring Jack Black. That's me. Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked on that. And then I'm doing a super powder also. It's a perfect food energizer with a bunch of raw organic stuff in it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm feeling better than I did earlier. What's that?
It's all about getting healthy. Do you ever feel like the timing of all this was type of a destiny thing? Like maybe the grand creator wanted me sober at this time because everything's about to hit the fan?
Yeah, we were talking about that last week, I think you and I, privately, that, in general, I know a few people that are, I think a couple of people from Revolution Radio were also on a call with us. I think Noreen was, and maybe a couple of other people on the side that we've been talking to are taking steps to get healthier, et cetera. And it just seems like the timing, might be connected to the fact that, if we're going to be soldiers here, truth soldiers, et cetera, we need to be healthy. We need to be ready to go. And, not be the weakest link in the chain, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's going to definitely need to be leaders, because there's going to be a lot of people scared to death, not knowing which end is up. So that's the whole purpose of the spreading of information. It's to scare the you-know-what out of you now, so it doesn't catch you when everybody's looking and pointing.
Right. It's also, but on the flip side of that, that's also what they're doing in the programming. The key word there is programming on the boob tube, which I don't watch, but I still do find myself watching a few shows on Netflix and that type of thing. But it's just very interesting advertising and different shows and the content of those shows and how they're basically trying to. I think, if they're not trying to sell you something you don't need, then they're trying to numb you to what's here to come, so that everybody doesn't go into complete shock, when they're numbers up and they're checking into the FEMA camp, you know what I mean?
Right, and the video games are doing the same thing. And you notice all these like Farmville type of deals?
Yeah.
Where you go around and it's like post-apocalyptic Earth, and it's like, oh no, we're just teaching the kids how to grow and trade and like have little communities, and you put that with the other video games, which are the military backed ones, you call them combat first person shooters, and you're like, wonder what's coming.
Yeah. For instance, in the Farmville thing, I'm pretty sure that if you gather up enough of the sustenance items, and then what do they? I'm sure if you combine that with a war game, then the next thing you know is like, we'll starve them all out, I mean, we have all this food, but we're only going to feed our people, and we're going to starve the rest of the people. So, I don't know. It's Video games are very odd to me. You know, just
It's going to be
very odd.
farmers in the field wearing body armor. Their M16 at the one end, it's going to have instead of a bayonet, it's going to have a shovel. They're going to be in the fields digging and planting tomatoes.
Right.
While sniping their neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to invent that video game and get really rich.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of apps and getting really rich, so Kim Kardashian is slated to make about $100 million on her new app. You know, I'm sorry, and you could interchange those two P's in the word app to S's if you need to, because it's basically the same thing.
Or just
Kim's
imagine her
ass
butt.
app, you know. What's that?
Or just imagine her butt.
Yeah, basically.
APP?
We could just call it ASAP, or ASAP.
What's this app do? I mean, you sit there and eat
I don't
calories and
know.
watch
She's
your
in a
butt
dress
grow?
and she's very curvy, and I don't know. Maybe you help her figure out, her first world problem today. What's my first world problem? Well, I gotta pretend I don't get Botox, and so I gotta have my chauffeur sneak me in the back because I can't be seen going in the front of the dermatology place because and I know for a fact she gets Botox, but she says she'll never do it again. But I know the place that does her Botox, when I lived in LA. So
we got a whistleblower.
Hey, Angela, let me bring this up real quick.
Okay.
This is getting serious. Bear's talking about her pain isn't where she sits. She's saying it's up there in her shoulder blades. I'm giving fair warning to all women. When you have mid-back pains or chest pains or shoulder pain, get to a doctor. Don't take the chance. Get a checkout for your pulmonary, that heart. So many women are having strokes because they think it's just a casual pain when they are actually passing a clot or something like that, getting ready to go into a stroke. Don't take that chance. Get
in
to
the
a doctor.
meantime, take an aspirin, thin that blood just in case. And I'm not a doctor, but that's what I would do.
Exactly. Bear, tomorrow, this is my order. You get to a doctor, you get checked out. You're a high-stress person, and you need to be with us. We don't need you to pull a paw on us, okay?
Yeah, it's fair and solid advice, Billy Hayes. V.O. Bear, I hope you're listening. Yeah,
Looks
you're right,
like the hijackers joined the chat room, so it looks like maybe he might be starting tonight for all you Jacker fans out there.
Let's see, he's on Skype too. Do you want to bring him in? Should we bring him in and see what?
Yeah, I'd let him
Let's do
introduce it. Everybody say a prayer for V.O. Bear.
Yes, V.O. Bear.
Without
Get
that
well,
energy.
baby. Yeah.
She's the mama of the station, so we need her most definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So we got about 7 minutes left at the best. Let's see if we can't get Hijacker in here to introduce his new show.
Are you gonna drag him?
Yeah, I'm gonna drag him in. I never do that, but let's just do it. What better person?
He's been kind enough to let me promo my shows when I start them, which has been off and on over the years. So let's see. We're trying to add him. I don't know. It's not answering right now.
No, changing reality with the Hijacker. It's going to be every week, it looks like, after the Gray Zone.
Cool.
So we're going to hand you all off to the Jacker. I don't know. No promises tonight is his first night. No promises. Trying to validate that for you.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's got a stack of cards ready for us.
Jacker, how you doing, sir?
Oh, I got more than a stack of cards, Billy.
Hey, there you are. Hi, Jacker.
Yeah.
Welcome to this show, The Gray Zone. And what's going on? Is your show starting tonight?
Yeah, in just a couple of minutes. And it's going to be wild. I mean, a super moon with the Hijacker. Wow.
Yeah, and you're back, baby. The Jacker's back.
Well, just once a week touch and go, so we'll see. But my audio's okay then, Angela, right?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay.
Pure and clear.
Okay, yeah, no,
I'm
I'm
on Deacon's show today as well. So you're still all over. Even when you left, you were still here, and we're glad you got your own show back. That's great.
Yeah, I switched to sort of a run and gun, guerrilla, special forces with just sort of salt and pepper wherever I could. But most people won't take my calls now, so it made it easy for me, just to basically narrow down to one or two shows.
You're going to be working up all the morning people out sitting in traffic, drinking their coffee. You're going to have a tenfold amount of car horns honking out there because of Jacker. He's doing a morning show.
Well, I don't know, right? You know, it is the middle of the night for everybody, even the West Coast. I mean, it's almost 1 o'clock here. That would be 4 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. So you figure the people will be getting up around 6. I'll be going off the air.
You're going 3 hours, it looks like, on the schedule.
What's that?
It looks like you got 3 hours blocked for you.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Are you doing a 2-hour or 3-hour show? Looks like Nighthawk's got you blocked for a 3-hour show. So that'd be going till 7 in the morning on the East Coast of the U.S. Which
okay. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Definitely going to get people's blood going.
Yeah, and I'm going to deal with what I think is just about to happen. Really, I don't believe it's going to happen. It's just all the information that I've collected says that these people are getting ready to do something really crazy on 9/11 coming up, this 13th anniversary. Too tempting for them, it looks like. But so I'm going to go into all that data, all that information, and just basically. Okay, Rectify, Angelo, Billy. I'll see you on the other side.
Hey, Jack, here, check out the coronal mass ejection we had from the sun a few hours ago. It's going to be hitting us on 9/11. That's been the Gray Zone, everybody, with Rectify, Angelo Black, Billy AIDS, and our cuss.
Yeah, our cuss happy Audio Murphy.
I hope you all have a great week. Take care. 9/11. Don't ever forget. Truth, love, peace.
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 Listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. We'll be right back after this message.